Hello. It is a Tuesday evening. It's 8 p.m. where I am. There's a freaking fly buzzing around my head, which is really annoying. But I am here and I am with you guys. And thank you so much for coming. So this is the second part in a three-part series about mentorship. And I hope if you haven't already seen the last week, that you would have gone back and watched that week already. If you haven't, don't worry, you can go back and watch that anytime. It's okay. But thank you so much for attending. If you are attending this second week, and we have a few things to discuss this week on the subject of mentorship. So the thing that I wanted to say to you guys is, as always, if you have questions, if you have comments, if there is anything that you want to ask me, please do not ever hesitate to ask me in the chat. We have a moderator here who is available for you to be able to post questions, and I will answer those at the end. But in this session, we are going to be discussing about how to choose the right mentor. And Megan is posting right now. Megan is my moderator. She's posting right now in the chat. So if you guys are here and you can see me and hear me, if anybody is here that they can see me and hear me, please do leave a message in the chat just so that I am broadcasting okay. Lauren says you can see me and hear me. That's awesome. Also, I know we had a few technical problems with the visuals last week, which I'm a little bit concerned about. So I hope that you guys can still see me and hear me okay. So if you can, just, I mean, like Lauren can. So if there is one other person that can see me and hear me, anyone out there, then that would be cool as well. Camille says all clear. Awesome. Thank you so much. I've had a really interesting week. Susan says, yes, can see and hear you. You look a lot less blurry than last week. Thank you so much. I enjoy being less blurry. I'm clear tonight. Awesome. I'm using like this service called Speedify, which I actually used in Greece, but I didn't use here because various reasons I didn't need to until I moved to this new house. And anyway, you don't need to know all my personal stuff. So at the end of the day, it's working, and that's perfect. So I'm excited. Last week we talked about mentorship, and I really want to drive home through this series about how important mentorship is. And I'm not necessarily talking about mentorship with me. For sure, I offer a mentorship program, and I love working with the people that I work with one-on-one in my one-on-one sessions and things like that. But anybody who's looking for a mentor will benefit from this three-part series. So as much as I love you guys, you don't have to work with me. I'm happy that you work with somebody else who resonates with you. And that's kind of like the theme of tonight's webinar. So thank you so much for joining me. So the three key points that I want to discuss tonight, and I want to make this digestible. I don't want to make this like a big, long webinar for you guys. I want to make it like kind of bite-sized topics that you can kind of come and enjoy and listen to, and also listen to the replays inside the Academy and listen to the courses and things like that. But the three topics or the 3 points that I want to discuss are choosing your course action and how you're going to move forward with working with a mentor. The second is preparing to be mentored. And the third thing is choosing the right mentor. So that's what our topic of discussion is tonight. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for the fly that's flying around my head. So I hope you guys are all fine, and I think we should just get started. So the first thing about mentorship, like for me, I understand that mentorship is so valuable because for me, it was like really life-changing. And like I said, I didn't work in the last session. I said I didn't work one-on-one with a mentor at all, but I took a program, I took a course, I invested in the expertise of someone else. So even if you say I didn't take a mentorship program, if you've invested in the expertise of someone else, whether it be me, whether it be another digital nomad or another virtual assistant or another entrepreneur online, you have invested in yourself with that person. Technically, we can say they are your mentor, okay? Because you have said, I trust you, I believe you, you've done what I didn't do yet, and you're the person I want to follow. So that's really, really important. So I want to talk to you about 3 points this week of what's so important about mentorship and how to move forward. So the first thing is about choosing your course of action. So for me, it's very, very clear and very apparent how I want to work with people. And I touched on this last week. For me, choosing your course of action, really knowing what you want from the relationship between yourself and the mentor that you're working with. So for me, when I mentor people, I want to create the best version of the person I'm mentoring. So whatever it is, whatever they want out of life, and I really don't care what they want out of life. The most important thing is that I give them what they want. So this is a really important part of mentorship. It's not like some people put themselves on a pedestal, like I did this, and then they're trying to create versions of themselves through mentorship. And that's not what I try and do, because I know that sometimes my version of what I want out of life is so completely different to what other people want out of their lives. So the most important thing to me is that I really fully understand what it is the people that I am mentoring want, what they want from me, and what they want for themselves. So the first thing is choosing a course of action and knowing what you want from mentorship. So when I want from mentorship, it's really about knowing what you want from the relationship that you have invested in. So let's say, for example, you invest in a program or a course or something like that. You always have to have a really ultimate end goal in mind. That's not necessarily what the mentorship program or the course or anything like that promises you, but it has to be something that you for sure know exactly what your end goal is. Okay, so this is the most important thing. The second thing is about preparing to be mentored. And a lot of people think like about going into the relationship and the mentor is supposed to prepare them to be mentored. But that shouldn't always be the case, because if you're going to go into mentorship, you need to prepare yourself to be mentored. And the way you do that is to really know exactly what you want to achieve from the mentorship. Okay, so I often work with people, and a lot of our time is consumed and taken up. And I've actually recorded videos now to prevent this from happening. It's really interesting to see this, but basically what a lot of people don't know is that they come into the mentorship and then they know that they want a certain outcome, but they don't know specifically what that looks like for them. So for example, what my vision for the future of my life is can be completely different from your vision of the future, what your life is. And that's not to say, my Honor says I'm all clear tonight. That's awesome. So that's not to say that my vision and your vision are right or wrong, because they're different. It's about saying, I know what I want from my life, and I know what you have done in your life. So the third, and this kind of leads into the third point of what I want to talk about tonight, which is about really understanding and choosing a mentor who resonates with you. So, like, let's say, for example, I have a very clear path in my life. I like a totally clear path. I am totally unconventional. I left school when I was 16 years old. I left home when I was 16 years old, and I went and worked. I did every job under the sun. I cleaned, I waited tables, I worked in bars. I did honestly everything you could possibly think of or possibly imagine to make ends meet, because I was a 16-year-old girl on my own, out there trying to make things work. Okay, because that was my choice. Okay, it wasn't like anything happened to me. It was my choice. I was like, okay, well, I can't go to college. Circumstances prevented me from that. So I said, okay, I'm going to work. And that's what I did. So I went on my own. I took a job. I took another job. I took another job. I took every job under the freaking sun. And I learned what I liked, what I didn't like, what I wanted to do, what I didn't want to do. And then I stumbled across something that was so, such a good job. You know, it's like one of those good jobs. Like somebody offered me a good job. It wasn't cleaning toilets. So I thought to myself, okay, fine, I'll take it. And it was mortgage underwriting. So literally I walked into the workplace and I became a mortgage underwriter, which for those of you who don't know, I don't know anyone who wouldn't know that, but I basically help people to finance their homes. Okay, so that's the kind of thing that I went to. And I was the one about whether we would lend the money or not. So that's kind of what I did for a few years. And then from that, I went into banking and I moved around the country in England. I did a lot of different jobs in different banks. I did not only mortgage underwriting, but I did loans. I did personal loans. I did business loans. I did all kinds of other loans in banks. I sold insurance, life insurance. I also sold credit cards. I mean, like you name it, anything to do with finance, I was totally in there. And I worked my way up from cleaning toilets to cleaning hospital beds to wiping people's asses. And like, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I literally wiped people's asses inside hospitals to the point where I ended up in a CSSD where I started cleaning the instruments of surgeons, and I would go in and help surgical operators in their work. And I would see a lot of very interesting things in that job. But in the end, I pulled myself out of that and I went into banking and I went into finance, and I was introduced to a whole new world, from wiping people, cleaning out people's femurs from their hips and things like that. And the one thing I learned from all of this, from all of these jobs that I took, is that I literally could mold myself and adapt myself to anything that I wanted to be. And that was a really awesome lesson to learn from firsthand experience in life. I wasn't just this one thing. I wasn't a cleaner. I wasn't a CSSD assistant. I wasn't a surgical assistant. I wasn't this, that, and the other. I was just everything, and I could be everything. And I think that was one of the first lessons to me that I learned, is that you can literally be anything and everything that we want to be. There is no restrictions. There are no limitations. And this is what you first of all need to know. The second thing that you need to know is that you don't always like what you end up in. And the most important thing is to really learn to know what you like and to know what you want. Because when you are going to invest in mentorship, the best thing that you can invest in is exactly what you want. And it's investing in the help you to get you exactly where you want to be. Whether that be working on a program or course, if you're very self-motivated, or whether that be stepping things up a little bit and working more on a one-on-one basis where that person can hold you more accountable. So it's about really learning and understanding who you are. Because if you learn and you can understand who you are and how you operate and how you function, you will be able to make more out of the mentorship than you ever could before. Because when you work with a mentor, for sure, you're following their mentorship program and you're following their processes and their procedures and things like that. But the most important thing is to know exactly what you want out of the mentorship and to be able to communicate with that want and that desire with the person mentoring you. Which kind of leads me on to what's most important about this process, and that's really knowing and understanding what you want out of life. And it's interesting because I just recorded today a bunch of mentorship videos in my mentorship program, because I have my one-on-one sessions and I always do those, and I love those and they're so important, but I wanted to give people some extra stuff that they can use and they can work with and they can follow. So I recorded some mentorship videos to go with my mentorship program today, which are going inside the mentorship program this month or this week even. I'll do it tomorrow. So the way I wanted to kind of convey this is to say that these are the tools, these are techniques, these are the things that you can use to better yourself. And again, if you followed my first video in this session, you'll know that mentorship for me, it's all about creating a better version of yourself. So for me, it was like, how can I help people to create that better version of themselves? How can I introduce that to them? And then how can I work with them one-on-one to kind of pull that out of their individuality? And that's, again, another really important point. So when you are looking to choose a mentor, first of all, I recommend mentorship for anyone, because I have struggled so much from not having a mentor. I mean, I have been there, I have done that, I've bought the t-shirt. And when you do not have a mentor and you do not have a guide and you do not have someone telling you this is the direction to go in, it can be so tough because you are making all the decisions on your own. You are following the entire process on your own. You are reading from this person and this person and that person, and you are finding that there is conflicting information and advice and things like that. And that can be probably one of the worst things. And that's where I think I found myself a lot in the early days, because although there wasn't a lot of mentors around doing VA stuff in the early days, I was looking at various different people and things and opportunities and what could I do and where can I go and things like that. And there was nothing that really truly resonated with me. So I would say, if you find somebody online, anyone online, not necessarily me, if it's me, that's also, but if it's not me, that's also awesome too. If you find somebody online who you really resonate with, who you say, I love that person, I love what they're doing with their life, I love how they show up. If you can find someone that meets those criteria, you have found your mentor. And for me, like, that was a huge thing. I found a mentor and I didn't even know he was my mentor until years and years later. But I just started following this guy on this blog. And for those of you who don't know, it's Yarrow Starrick. I'm not ever shy about telling people about that. It was Yarrow Starrick. I followed his blog. I read his stuff. I just loved it. I just loved what he had to say. I loved how he showed up in the world. I loved how he was building his business. I loved the way he was presenting his programs and presenting his courses. And eventually, I invested in it. And it was, for sure, one of the best decisions I ever made in my business, was investing in Yarrow Starrick, because he had everything. He had it all. He had everything I needed, everything I wanted. And when I followed everything to the letter, step by step from this guy, I achieved the results that I wanted to achieve because my instinct, this was the way to go. This was the thing that I need to do. This was the thing that I need to invest in. But when you invest in mentorship, there's another thing you need to be very aware of, is that some people invest in mentorship with the hope that somehow there is this magic formula, or there is this magical thing that's going to occur that says, I've paid you some money, so now you're going to help me achieve my dreams. For sure, every mentor is going to want to help you achieve your dreams. Unfortunately, only you can achieve your dreams. Sorry, I'm going to say this again. Only you can achieve your dreams. So it doesn't matter whether you buy the £2,000 mentor or the £4,000 mentor or the £10,000 mentor or the £20,000 mentor, the most successful mentor there is in the world, or the least successful mentor there is in the world. It does not matter. The only thing that matters is your commitment to the program. They know what works. They've done it. They're teaching it. Know how it goes. And they're telling you, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to go. These are the steps you need to follow. But unless you do it, there is no end goal. There is no end result. There is nothing that can be achieved. And that's a huge thing to take on board, especially when you make such a big investment into your future. So this is where we're at right now. So I want to give you some practical tools, practical tips. I want to keep these short and concise because these are going into a course in the Academy Pro. And also I'm basically splitting one webinar up into 3 webinars. So this is the second part of this process. And it's really, really important that you listen to this part. So the first part is choosing a course of action. It's about knowing, what do I want from my mentorship? Do I want success? Okay, great. What is success to you? What does that look like to you? You need to be so detailed in what you want to achieve, in what that looks like before you approach your mentor, because it's to know, this is why I'm investing in you. This is why I want to do this with you, because I want to achieve X, Y, Z. That's the first and foremost, most important thing. The second is preparing to be mentored. Preparing to be mentored is mentally kind of submitting yourself to the fact that you are going to need to be guided. For me, that was hard because I am so proud. Like, it's inherent in me. I don't know whether it's a Taurus in me. I'm a Taurian. I'm very, very stubborn, and I'm very, very proud. And then for me, it was like a big thing to admit, I need help. And I'm going to invest in this help with somebody else because they've done it. They know it. They can do it better than me. And then I literally submerged and submitted myself to that person. And that is also a huge commitment that you need to make as an individual to be able to do that. And then finally, the third thing is choosing the right mentor. And the way you choose the right mentor is to simply look at their lives. And I know it's so hard to do this because not all mentors are going to show you the extent of their lives. But I've seen VA groups, I've seen it in VAs themselves, I've seen it in digital nomads, I've seen a lot of people. There is a lot of people out there offering coaching and mentorship. Some of them are perpetual travelers. Some of them will be going to a new country every month. That's awesome. If you want to go to a new country every month, follow somebody and learn from somebody who is doing that. For me, I go to a new country maybe every couple of years. And that's how I operate, and that's how I work. And yeah, for sure, I travel in between. I take holidays in between. But for me, the travel element is a couple of years. It's like the long game. So like if you want to learn from somebody who has had a child in 3 different countries, 3 different children in 3 different countries, that's fine. You can come and be mentored by me. If you want somebody who has learned to build their business from the moment they were single with no children to the moment they've had 3 kids, then for sure I can help you with that. You know, it's all about looking at the individual and then saying, is this person living the life that I would like to live? And if they do, then you know 100% that's a person that you can be mentored by, that will resonate, understand you, that will be able to guide you specifically in the direction that you need to go in, because they have achieved success in the direction that you need to be going. So that's another really, really important thing. And there are so many different types of mentors. And believe me, in the VA world, especially, like if we're looking at virtual assistants, and sorry for all the freelancers and things like that who are watching this, but for sure, in the virtual assistants world, there are people who have had kids that have left home and grown up and gone, and now they're starting their VA business and now they're being successful. There are people who are literally single and starting their VA business. There are people who are in the realms of gay, bisexual, lesbian, whatever you want to call it, in the realms of their virtual assistant business. There are people who are digital nomads who are traveling. There are so many varieties out there of virtual assistant because of the flexible nature of this industry, that you can literally pick and choose your mentor based entirely on the lifestyle that you want to live, and then you follow them and you listen to them and you them, and that's the best course of action. Do not say to yourself, oh, I like this person, I like this person, I like this person, I like this person, and then follow everybody and try and follow everybody, because everybody is taking a different path. Everybody is using a different strategy to get to where they want to be. And that's where mentorship can become muddy. It can become very, very clouded, because you're looking at all these different people who are providing mentorship and coaching. And then you're saying to yourself, well, they're all in the same industry, but they're all saying different things. And the reason they're saying different things is because they approached it from different angles and different areas and different outcomes that they wanted. And every mentor and every coach has succeeded. Okay, so you never have to worry about, oh, is this person really a success? Because they probably have succeeded. I'm not saying everybody, but I'm saying a majority of the people that you're looking at probably have succeeded in some way or another in what they're looking to achieve. It was to have a 6-figure business. For me, I achieved a multi-6-figure business. For me, I still had a family. For me, I still traveled. That was my ultimate. You know, to be able to travel, that's why I started my business. For some other people, it might be different. For some other people, it might be the idea that they simply stayed at home with their kids and they didn't have to go out to work. For some, it might be the fact that they were made redundant and that they still were able to work even after they were made redundant. So many things, so many scenarios that can happen. The most important thing out of this whole session that I want to share with you is that you go and you research and you do the research and you find someone that really, really resonates with you, that you say, this person I understand, this person I think will understand me, this person is living their life at the same capacity that I would love to live my life. And then you found your mentor. The next stage from there is to say to yourself, what do I want from that person? Where am I at right now life and where do I need to be? And I need to tell this person specifically what they can do for me, because I want to achieve this goal or this aim or this goal, challenge, whatever it is. And that's simply where you need to be. So that's today's session. I wanted to keep this to 30 minutes, and it has been 30 minutes, and that's important to me, because I did want to break this stuff down as much as possible. So if you do have any questions, oh wait, let me just check. Lauren says, do you think a mentor has to be in the same industry as the person they're mentoring? I have to say, no. No. Of course, it's helpful that that person is in the same industry, but I will tell you something about my own personal experience. I didn't have any mentor when I started, and believe me, I looked. And when I looked for people in 2005, that was a very long time ago, and virtual assistants wasn't really mainstream. What I found was very, very few people, and then the few people that I was looking at weren't really resonating with me. So I ended up looking into, but still as a virtual assistant. And then I found somebody who became my mentor, Yaroslav, and he was not doing virtual assistants, although ironically, he's completely flipped the switch. We've consulted together, we've talked together over the years, we've become friends, and I'm very proud to call Yaroslav my friend. And he has now gone in to service providing, which is really interesting for me because he wasn't doing that at the beginning. So I was learning from him about internet marketing, let's say, or blogging and product creation, things like that. And then years later, the tables turned because he knew that I was using his programs in a service business. And then he started consulting with me, asking me, how things would go in a service business. And I was kind of talking to him about that, and he flipped it. And he is now providing services, and I'm moving away a lot from services. So it's really interesting how that happened. But you do not need to find a mentor specifically in your industry. To me, the most important thing about looking for a mentor, finding someone is living the lifestyle that you want to live. And I think that is the most important thing, because I think no matter what people do or no matter how people approach their business, figuring out how to live the lifestyle is way more important. So I started looking at internet marketing. Lauren said that's awesome. Flip. I know, it was pretty awesome. So I started looking in the early days. I knew I was providing services, but I followed a mentor who was in internet marketing. And then I merged what I was doing with what they were doing, and I wanted to make it work that way. So I think the most important thing is not about the industry. It's not about the line of work or the job, but really it's more about the lifestyle. And do I want to be living that kind of lifestyle? And how can that person help me live that kind of lifestyle? And then I think that you could probably merge and fit it in with that. And if you can't, then that's when you come to somebody like me who has that vision. And believe me, I have that vision, because honestly, I never learned from virtual assistants. I built a virtual assistant company to 6 figures relatively quickly in this industry. I don't say that to blow my own trumpet or to make myself out like that I'm the big I am, but I built this VA business very, very quickly, and I did it without any help from anyone in the VA industry. It was all entrepreneurship, and I learned from entrepreneurs. I just adapted it. So that's my approach to mentorship now, is that I adapt people to what they should be doing. And yeah, for sure, my expertise is service businesses, but I can help people do other things as well. I help people launch product businesses, and pretty much any industry falls into those realms. So I'm very lucky. So that helps answer your question. So I think I intended to keep this to about half an hour, and then we have another session next week. So next week's session is about finding solutions for change. Okay, so this is about finding solutions for yourself that can help you move forward in your business with radical change in your lives, in your business, the way you run your business, how you approach your business and things like that, and to get results. Okay, so that's next week and I'm super excited about it. I have loved doing these sessions. It's really nice to be able to not feel the pressure of, you know, like having this big chunk of stuff that I have to teach in like one hour session. It's lovely to be able to spread it out a little bit. And again, from the feedback last week, I hope you find this helpful too. And if you have any questions, you can always leave them in the chat and I will answer them in the next session, the final session last week, where we're going to look more into specifically getting the results that you need from mentorship and how to approach that. So that's really awesome. Thank you so much, guys. If you don't have any more questions, I'm going to close this off now. And don't forget, Lauren, thank you so much. And don't forget, if you want to access the replays of all these sessions, you can do so in the Academy. Was great again, Marin. Thank you so much. I love you guys. So thank you so much for being here. You can access them in the Academy. We're going to put them into the courses inside the Academy. And also, if you want to sign up for my button is at the bottom of this page. It's a green button. I am always here for you. I am always so excited to work one-on-one with people to really help them achieve the specifics of what they want to achieve. So thank you, Megan, for doing that. Yes, you can email support@VegaMust Friday if you have any questions. If you're interested in the mentorship program and you want to talk to me specifically, then please go ahead, click that button, look at the mentorship program. If you want to talk to me, email support@VegaMustFriday.com. And really, for me, the most important thing is that you find the right mentor for you. So whether we jump on a call and you say to me, this is what I'm looking for, and I say to you, yes, I can help you, or no, I can't help you. Maybe I can recommend someone else to you or something like that. But the most important thing to me is you get the right support and the right guidance for you in your business. And that's so important to me, and that's kind of why I do these things as well. So that is really important. So please do reach out to me, whether it's in a capacity of whether you want to work with me or you're thinking of working with someone else. I know a lot of people in the industry as well, so I mean, I can also recommend people, that type of thing. The most important thing to me is you achieve your end goal and your end result. But there is a mentorship program happening right now with me. It's so important to me that my people succeed. It's on the green button at the bottom. And also I'm starting a new daily mentorship focus group in WhatsApp where I share my personal daily journey entries with audios and all kinds of other stuff, and accountability and kind of like habit generation and things like that. So this mentorship program and what I offer in the group on a daily basis is so important and so paramount to achieving what you want to achieve in your life and your business. So if you want to work with me, that's cool. If you don't, that's still cool. You can still reach out to me and still talk to me, and maybe I can recommend someone for you. So that's it. That's all I have to say right now. It's gone over the 30-minute mark. I'm so happy that you came. Do come again next week. So we've got one more final session where we're going to go through all the specifics of being able to get results from your mentorship, which is so, because you invested in that and you invested yourself and you invested in the person, and everybody wants to achieve results. So thank you so much, and I will see you next week. Bye, guys.